A Love Letter to My Country. The actual title is a love letter possible for my country? A young man walks towards another young man holding a gun. This is a still photograph screaming on every news portal, social media platforms, on every WhatsApp group I'm on. The one with the gun looks consumed by rage, confusion, and hate. The one who walks towards him seems calm and unafraid. Visible in the hazy background is a whole posse of policemen, inert spectators to the scene unfolding. None of the policemen look poised to tackle the one with the gun, though they stand only a few yards behind him. News channels inform that the agitated man was shouting, "Ye lo azadi." Here, I will give you freedom, while aiming his gun at student protesters standing behind the young man walking towards him. This calm young man is a student. He's Kashmiri, Muslim, male, and a student at a time when each of these categories he identifies with are demonized by hate-fueled right-wing groups, the police, and the ruling party in the government. This young man walks towards the one wildly waving a gun. It seems he kept saying to him, "Let's just talk," in an attempt to calm the one with the gun. Behind the students stood a large crowd of students protesting the new Citizenship Amendment Act that makes precarious the lives of Muslims in our country, who might be called upon to prove their citizenship anytime. These students have been protesting for days. Similar protests led by other groups of students and women have erupted everywhere in the country. All of them chant slogans that end with the call for azadi, freedom. Hame chahiye azadi, we want freedom. CAA se azadi, freedom from CAA. Qaumwad se azadi, freedom from communalism. Jatiwad se azadi, freedom from casteism. Danga fasad se azadi, freedom from bloodshed. Hum ladke lenge azadi, we shall fight for this freedom. Sab naach ke lenge azadi, we shall dance and take our freedom. Jhoom ke bolo azadi, swing and call for freedom. Ladke lenge, chheen ke lenge azadi, we will fight for it, we will grab our freedom. The grandmothers in a Muslim neighborhood are chanting this slogan along with their children and grandchildren. They stepped out of their homes in a biting cold winter and occupied the thoroughfare in their area. It has been 70 days and they're still there, with families, neighbors, students, passers-by, artists, teachers, shopkeepers, farmers, singing, chanting, and inviting every visitor to speak, to share their fears and their hopes. They've heard religious priests, Bollywood actors, professors, students, activists, young mothers with babies at their hip, and old men. There are those who have quietly gone and set up a library on the street where the protesters are. Children thronging the protest site are now reading books, painting, singing the national anthem, and writing love letters to their country on Valentine's Day. And here I am, writing my own love letter to my country, desperately trying to paint a picture of the young Kashmiri Muslim male student walking towards another young man bursting with hate. And all he says is, "Let's talk." From where does this young student find hope and courage to confront hate? Minutes after the photograph was clicked, a shot was fired. The student was hit on his hand. The next photograph I encountered was of a young woman, a fellow student, clinging to him in anguish while the hand bled onto their clothes. The police did not bring down the barricades meant to hold back the protesters. The injured student had to clamber on top of the barricade to get past the police and rush to hospital. I saw no rage in his eyes. His body, on the expressions of his friends helping him across, no rage. Where do these young students find their faith in our nation, its constitution that upholds equality and freedom? Even though they have been vilified and attacked by the police, the state, and sections of the media. The young man with the gun believes the story that these students are anti-national, trying to destroy and take away his place under the sun. This young Kashmiri student knows that chanting Azadi comes from his people, who have been placed under a lockdown for 201 days because they've been asking for Azadi, freedom from India. He probably has no idea what his mother has cooked at his home in Kashmir, if his siblings have gone back to school, if his childhood friend fears stepping out of the home. None of them can call back home because there is no internet or telephone available for Kashmir. It feels strange writing a love letter to my country while every nation races to darken their borders with sharper and more lethal edges. When walls get higher and more opaque without the faintest possibility of even a shard of light escaping through. From where does that student get the courage to wrap himself in humanity and say to his aggressor, "Come, let's just talk"? How is he able to walk through every wall and every border?